Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh with the 450 vibe.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to First Cut Live. It is good to hear that music. We are doing this once again. We are here. I am here with Sabrina and RB3. My name is Andres, and here at First Cut, we discuss movies, we do reviews, we discuss TV shows, and we're going to do all that today, talking about Wake Up Dead Man, talking about the Avatar hype, and talking about all the good stuff coming out of Hollywood. But first and foremost, what we want to do right off the top of this show is share our deepest condolences to the ROB REINER family. Our hearts are definitely devastated and broken from the news that we heard of the passing of him and his wife. Right off the top, we obviously want to send our best energy, our well wishes, basically everything that we have within us, that it comes to the inspiration that ROB REINER provided. So what I want to do is go to each of you, first of all, and give me, first of all, your reaction to this devastating news and this heartbreaking news, and also what ROB REINER means to you as a film fan and as a cinephile, as we consider ourselves to be. And I'll start with you, Sabrina.
Yeah, I actually, because When Harry Met Sally is now one of my favorite movies of all time, but I was like completely late to the game. Of course, grew up on The Princess Bride, Stand By Me, Misery. Those are some of my favorite Stephen King adaptations, and anybody who knows me knows I love Stephen King and his adaptations and the filmmakers that take those stories on, because as we know, it is no easy feat, and I think it takes a true talent to take a story like this, or even something like When Harry Met Sally, and really focus on all of the human elements that go into it. I think the performances, like, I have chills thinking about the work that he's put out into the world, but the performances that he's pulled out of the actors that he's worked with, I think it resonates deeply. And that's why his films have been so impactful. And not only to lose another really, really talented filmmaker this year, earlier this year, we lost David Lynch, and he was another one of my favorites. But to not have it happen either naturally, which is, I think, what we kind of expect, and that's tragic and heartbreaking enough, but to have it in this way, and for somebody who was such a light, and not only with the films that he's created, but even with his performances, stuff from New Girl, Wolf of Wall Street, all the way back decades. I think he just brings a presence, whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever it may be, that is so impactful. And to have his story end this way, and luckily it's not the end because his work will live on for so long, but it just makes it extra heartbreaking.
Yeah, RB3, how did this news hit you, and what does ROB REINER mean to you, man?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, this news affected me a lot, man. This one was really tough. There's obviously been a lot of celebrity deaths recently and of Lifetime, but this one definitely hit a little harder just because of, like Sabrina said, the impact of ROB REINER's films. Probably arguably one of the greatest runs of movies that you can ever imagine, just from his debut film, This is Spinal Tap, hugely influential for me personally as a mockumentary filmmaker. I made many kind of mockumentary format kind of projects between Comic Shop and Quarter Life Crisis, you know what I'm saying? So This is Spinal Tap literally defined the genre in that, literally. I mean, there wouldn't be a mockumentary genre without that movie. And then, all of his films, fortunately, like, I can't use my internet right now because reasons. But When Harry Met Sally, there's the whole, somebody put the graphic on Twitter. I meant to grab it, but there's the whole run between This is Spinal Tap, Harry Met Sally, going all the Misery, yeah, and then it ends with A Few Good Men in '96. Like, that's literally a six film run that is unquantifiable. You know what I'm saying? With a whole range of genres, right? Like, thrillers with Misery, rom-coms with Harry Met Sally, and literally taps into every genre. Stand By Me, and hugely influential. And of course, Stand By Me, John Singleton cites as one of the major influences in Boys in the Hood, to the point, literally entire scenes are like kind of ripped off from like Stand By Me and Boys in the Hood. But Boys in the Hood is one that impacted me, and there quite literally would not be also Boys in the Hood without Stand By Me too. So the impact is just resonant, unbelievably resonant throughout all kinds of cinema. He also apparently helped mentor Frank Darabont in the process of making The Shawshank Redemption as well. So just all legendary stuff. Rob Reiner, very, very tragic. His performance in Wolf of Wall Street is hilarious as well, and in The Bear. So, R.I.P., man.
Yeah, RIP. And obviously, the tragedy of it all, as Sabrina mentioned, is something that is very heartbreaking and devastating, and something that is difficult to fathom and to get over. And I feel like we should continue to celebrate his life and his legacy, but at the same time, acknowledge and respect the tragedy involved, and not be too sudden to forget that this is still a really, really awful manner in which this happened, and we should really consider that his death is something that we should respect as well, and hopefully there'll be more information and more news, but at the same time, it's not something that I feel like the public is entitled to. So hopefully we can respect the privacy at this time as well.
Absolutely. And with his wife, Michelle, as well, who I know was very impactful on the creation of When Harry Met Sally, and kind of the way that story ended too. Just horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you mentioned, Sabrina, that the double tragedy of it all, the fact that his wife passed away as well. We also want to acknowledge her passing, and respect her legacy, and what she meant to him, and what she means to other people, just based on inspiration and as a human being as well, because I feel like that's the most important part.
By the way, so I got IMDb pulled up. So this is Spinal Tap, 1984. The Short Thing, 1985, also a huge hit. Not as big, though. Stand By Me in 1981, that's 3 for 3. The Princess Bride, a mini overtime classic. When Harry Met Sally right after that. Misery right after that. And then A Few Good Men after that. So literally 7 movies. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to say that. 7 movies. No. 7 movies in a row that are just smackers. And then North was one that, was kind of mixed, but then he goes back to smackers with American Presidents and Ghost from Mississippi. And so it's like literally like this guy has one of the strongest directorial careers in Palace, spanning all kinds of genres. It's absolutely phenomenal. Writer, actor, producer, and also activist. He was huge on political activism and huge on supporting Black filmmakers and Black critics. He spoke numerous times at the African American Film Critics Association's banquets and stuff. I mean, they posted some clips of that on their page too. I mean, his reach and his impact politically, huge outspoken supporter of Obama when it was not popular too. So yeah, he, really Rob Reiner, really, huge legend, and it's sad, but rest in peace. And, like you said, we don't want to sensationalize the whole murder, whatever kind of situation of it, but it is a big signal that we need to take mental health a lot more seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because when you read the details of the situation and, the drugs, how drugs and mental health kind of fell through the wayside of it, some of which was even documented in Rob Reiner's filmography, in the film Being Charlie. It's like, it's tragic, and it's like, that's something that we need to, as a society, take more responsibility for.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very well said. And I do feel like his inspiration will continue to live on in human beings and people that he touched, and obviously in filmmakers and people who will create more art inspired by his work. And as difficult as it is, we will move on to the film that I guess technically came out this weekend, and we'll talk about release dates and film releases a little bit later on in this episode with the same specific company. Netflix released Wake Up Dead Man, and we got a chance to check it out, as I hope many of you did, and we want to discuss it. So right off the bat, as we always do in every review, what were your overall thoughts on Wake Up Dead Man. And again, I'll start with you, Sabrina.
Yeah, so overall, I have really enjoyed the first two installments in this trilogy so far. This one, I really like the film itself. I think my major criticism, though, is that it was really lacking in the ensemble element that I think makes the first two so special. I don't know how you have Andrew Scott in a film, and I literally don't care about him at all. I think there was some casting mishaps, honestly, with like Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner. Just felt like they were kind of phoning it in, and they didn't have the same impact as even people like in the last film with like a Catherine Hahn, a Toni Collette. I just feel like he absolutely nailed the casting in the past, and this one left a little bit to be desired, except for obviously Josh O'Connor, absolutely incredible. And I don't blame a lot of the actors like Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney. I don't blame them for the fact that I feel nothing for their characters. Because of course, with a film like this, we love to hate the ensembles. But this, I don't even care enough to like want to hate them or even want to get to know them or any sense of the word. So that was just my major criticism. But Josh O'Connor, incredible. Daniel Craig, amazing, obviously. And also just it looked stunning. And so he did a really, really great job with the like direction, the pacing, and just the overall impact of the themes, which of course are the same running ones we've seen in a lot of the other Knives Out films. But yeah.
Yeah, RB3, you did this review out of the theater reaction, and I got a little bit of your thoughts, but expand on them a little bit more, especially after possibly seeing it a second time, or have you only still seen it one time?
Well, I just saw it when I was in the theater.
Okay.
But well, first of all, thank you to everybody who's watching. We have 5 people watching. So make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if it's your first time checking it out. And of course, this individual review might be its own clip too. But as you're watching the live stream, hit that like button, show support. We're gassing up the Jets. We're back at it. First the mini first cut lives, y'all. We got big things coming. So yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, just like Sabrina said, the ensemble was the weakest part. That's kind of like the what you kind of look forward to the most, I feel like, in these Knives Out movies. And yeah, when you have people, you know, I'm glad you mentioned Andrew Scott. That was the main one I mentioned in my review too. If you know Andrew Scott, you know, if you've seen Ripley on Netflix, if you've seen anything Andrew Scott's done, this guy is next level talented, you know, like that, you know, like why not more for him? Why not more for Kerry Washington, multiple Emmy winner Kerry Washington? I barely almost forgot she was in the movie until they showed a quick clip of her at the end, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, Kaylee Spaney, literally the entire cast it was a good stack, but they just didn't do anything with it. So that was disappointing. After watching 2 Knives Out movies, and then, you know, I watched Peacock, Poker Face as well. And literally every episode is the exact same formula as a Knives Out movie. So I feel like I've gotten 16 Knives Out movies at this point, like low key, and they all kind of follow the same formula. This one shakes it up a little bit at the end. But you know, it's cool. It's cool. I liked it. But it's definitely nowhere near my top 10. It's nowhere near as good as I think the first 2 are, but that's still being said, it was still fun, you know, it was enjoyable, but you know.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from this movie, and I think obviously all the previous movies as well, is the fun aspect. It's always going to be a good time regardless, and I do think watching it in a theater helped quite a bit, at least for me, RB3. I don't know if you can speak the same to it as well. I feel like the audience was engaged and was having a lot of fun with it.
My theater was completely empty.
Oh, no way. Okay. Mine was full, but I feel like that also might just be, you know, my experience. But I feel like the fun aspect, it was very fun, very silly, a lot of comedy, a lot of good moments that I feel like the audience can love and people who are fans of movies can enjoy. But the thematic elements is something that Rian Johnson makes sure to tackle in each one of these Knives Out movies, whether it's the first one talking about wealth disparity and racism and anti-immigration sentiment, or the second one talking about the tech billionaires and the lack of empathy and the way they trick the world into believing they are geniuses. And now with this one, with the aspect of religion and faith. How did you guys feel about Rian Johnson's commentary on religion and faith and this thematic element throughout the movie? Sabrina or RB3?
Whoever. You go, RB3.
Oh, me? I mean, you know, I thought it was like cool. I mean, I honestly thought that was
Another weak part.
it was not weak. It was just a little bit more surface level, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've gotten deeper conversations from like Daredevil season 1. And it's like when I'm thinking like Ryan Johnson versus a Marvel show, I don't know. Like, that's kind of not great. But that being said, though, it's not saying the stuff wasn't good. Of course, like Josh Brolin's character, spoiler alert, by the way, this is a spoiler review, so I feel like we could start getting into spoilers. You know, Josh Brolin's character trying to set himself up as like this, you know, kind of all-knowing kind of figure, kingmaker inside of this small little town. And, you know, ultimately you think he's trying to make and then for a second you almost think, oh, he's trying to like do this fake Jesus act to like get attention and kind of make himself like the second ring. You think that's what the twist is, and then you ultimately find out like it was a whole nother thing going on with Glenn Close and Thomas Hayden Church and all that stuff. I thought that was like kind of interesting, like plot wise, but the actual discussions, they were cool. But you know, Josh O'Connor, who's just feeling guilty for like killing somebody, so you know, I get it. But again, you know, we love Daredevil, and I feel like I've gotten the same amount of depth. I actually probably more depth in Daredevil. That, to be fair, that's a 8-hour show versus a 2-hour movie, but you know, whatever.
Sabrina, what'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. Personally, for me, I'm not somebody who was ever really religious. Like I was raised in like a Catholic household, but like it was very relaxed. Like it was very chill. So going into this and just also kind of seeing, because one of my main criticisms of, not like no judgment or anything for anyone who is religious, but a lot of the times when you see these mega churches or you see these like pastors or anyone who is like a televangelist type of person who sensationalizes everything, who almost acts as if like they're an influencer, honestly, more so than anything else, versus being a person of faith who is supposed to be there for people and uplift people. I like that we saw that depiction, because I do think that is like one of the most evil things in the world. We're seeing how he is taking advantage of people in certain situations in their life. And I feel like that is a huge prevalent issue throughout all different churches across the world. And then I do love that we did have that juxtaposition with Josh O'Connor's character where he's not even taken as seriously. He's struggling to have people accept him, even in I don't know all these terms, but where he was with all of the other like priests before he went into the church with Josh Brolin. It seems like they kind of see him as like a kid. Nobody's really respecting him. But at the end of the day, he's actually the one that has the strongest core values. And he's actually the one that is representative of what we should think of as somebody who is a leader in the church or a leader in a community or anything else. So I did love that. Like, seriously, when it was going through like the YouTube videos that Psy was making, and it's like putting like God in Doge, like all that kind of stuff, it's so silly and it's so dramatic. It's exactly what we've seen with the other two films, but it's kind of extremely relevant. So I like the way he kind of handled that and like played with it, but not too much where it ever felt like super mean-spirited, because we did have Josh O'Connor's character to kind of reel that in.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, I kind of feel like, I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me. I kind of feel these movies have always had a huge comedy aspect of it, right? But I kind of feel like the movies have progressively gotten sillier each movie. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a note that I kind of felt, especially in this one, where I was like, damn, this is silly. Like some scenes are just so ridiculous and funny. They're really funny. But it's also, it kind of wakes you up, as far as, ironically enough, wake up, dead man. But it kind of wakes you up to realize, like, as deep as like we're getting into commentary about religious aspects, you'll still see Jeremy Renner's body like bouncing down the stairs and something silly like that, or Daniel Craig's playing with Josh Brolin's belly, like stuff like that. Like, this movie is really silly, and I do feel like Rian Johnson has progressively gotten sillier in each film. But yeah, when it comes to the commentary aspect, I'm going to kind of give my 2 cents a little bit, because I do feel like this one is very interesting when it comes to, I feel like the criticism is probably the most, I don't want to say tepid, but the most like gloves on kind of, because he usually is a little bit gloves off. I feel Rian Johnson in the first two movies when it came to the way they treated Marta and the way they were all part of this corruption. And in the second one, the character played by
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton and the tech billionaire aspect. There wasn't like the friendly tech billionaire, whereas in this one there was the friendly priest, and it felt a little bit more like, yeah, institutionalized religion can be bad, but it also can be really good. Look at Josh O'Connor's priest. Father Judd's a really nice guy. I feel like the most pivotal scene in this movie, speaking of spoilers, is his conversation with Louise. And that phone call that made audiences who probably even weren't very religious or into Christianity, feel the emotion in that scene. As far as can you pray for me, was the line that she said, and that kind of idea of like, I can offer something that most people can't, and this is the power of faith and religion. Which to me felt like this is one of the most pro-faith and pro-religion movies that I've seen from Hollywood in a minute, because of Josh O'Connor's character, because there isn't necessarily a break in his character, which in the movie it kind of teases that there will be, like, oh, he's actually like, he's done some stuff that's really bad, or he will do stuff that's bad, but he never quite does. And he always is that ethical line throughout. And then on top of that, the justification of the institution itself. For anyone who does know, the actual corruption, the real corruption of the Catholic Church is pretty vile. And the fact that they kind of yada yada it a little bit, in my opinion, with Jeffrey Wright's character, where he's like this badass, cool, like priest monk who's like, yeah, I'm gonna defend my priests, people. Priests are cool, man. And he, at the end of the movie, he shows up again and he says like, yo, that's a punk ass bitch. It's like, it felt like, all right, like it felt celebrating a little bit of the Catholicism and of the Catholic institution a little bit. And that's kind of what I didn't like as much compared to the other commentary as far as tearing down the super rich, tearing down these tech billionaires and not giving the two sides of the coin and being like the nice rich guy, the nice tech billionaire. Like this one felt like the one bad apple idea or theory, where it's like, this is just one bad apple and that's Josh Brolin. And the true, in my opinion, aspect of the institution is just kind of corrupt.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. It's because, for one, I definitely agree. We have the good priest in Josh O'Connell, and even Josh Brolin by the very, very end, he's like a bad priest, but not like the worst. Like that's kind of why I thought either we were gonna see Josh O'Connell actually be the one to kill Josh Brolin. Like I thought that would have been a cool twist, like, really challenging the main and that would be a break in the Knives Out formula, because we never seen one of the sidekick main characters, be the actual murderer. That would have been a cool twist. And also, Josh Brolin, I thought, okay, maybe it's revealed that he set this whole thing up. He's going to come out at the end and do some weird thing. I don't know. I thought that's where it was going to go, but obviously it didn't go that way. It just kind of went, in my opinion, the standard Knives Out / Poker Face formula of like, oh, it was really the character on the side who accidentally may have killed him, but it wasn't, intentional kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just kind of went, I liked it. I respected it, but I wanted to see something a little bit more subversive with it. I know it's like, the movie's already kind of subversive and like, it's not the traditional murder mystery. Everything Rian Johnson does is a little subversive, but I would have wanted to see more subversion. And like you said, with that commentary, like, to me, when you're talking about criticisms of like the rich and, all those things, first movie I think of is that film First Reformed, starring Ethan Hawke, which is a great film that beautifully challenges Catholicism while also still kind of embracing it in a way, but still it embraces religion, but it kind of denounces like the rich, the money, all the institutions behind it. And yeah, I kind of wish, maybe it went a little bit harder in that sense. Maybe I would have liked it more. I think what I did enjoy, I know I'm sounding mad negative. What I did really like about this one though were the horror elements. I thought the beginning scenes were actually a lot more horror tinted than I thought they were going to be. And especially at the end, like when we started getting into the little, is this supernatural, is this not kind of thing? Like, I actually thought that stuff kind of worked too. I thought the horror elements were actually pretty well done. So that's why I'll kind of the trade-offs for me. I big up the horror and the stylistic vibes that this movie gave off.
So I'm going to disagree with you both and just kind of like bring something up potentially because again, I'm not even, I think I gave this like maybe like 3.5 stars. So I'm not like ride or die for this film, even though I did really enjoy it. But I think with every Knives Out film we've seen, Ana de Armas, Janelle Monáe, like we see them be the exact opposite of the characters you were exactly talking about, Andres, with like Edward Norton's character. And then the whole family in the first Knives Out. She's like the complete opposite end of the spectrum. And I think the only way in this film that we could kind of have the same exact thing, because again, Janelle Monáe's character is the sister who doesn't have the same life, is living a completely different life than her sister was and Edward Norton was. And I think the only way you could do that is having like a non-believer and someone challenging. And that's where I think where it would go into kind of like the mean-spirited territory. And so to me, I think that having Josh O'Connor's character, it creates a little bit better of a balance where it is somebody that should technically on paper, they should have the same views. They should have the same ideals, the same morals. They're following the same teachings, but they couldn't be more further from each other in that way. So that's why it's like, I see it as, personally at least, I see it as it is a critique of the institution as a whole, because we do see how he's taken advantage of everybody. And we know that that happens. Like, we know that some people will literally give their life savings to whatever church they attend or just like any extra money they have. But meanwhile, the like pastor, preacher, whatever is like living lavish. We see the Joel Osteens of the world or just people like that in general. And then that's why even, obviously this is a spoiler, at the end, when we see Josh O'Connor, he has a tangible, valuable item. And what he does with it is just have it in the place where he believes it belongs, which is there in the church. He's not using it for his own gain. He's not doing any of that, which everybody else would have in this story. The people that follow Christ and follow this church and, Josh Brolin himself.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I definitely would love to keep discussing that aspect of it because I think there is a lot of intricate details in there. I know Rian Johnson talked about his own personal upbringing and his own personal deconstruction of his own faith and of his own religion when it comes to his idea behind this film. But I do think there is a lot there because I do think that the idea of contrasting people within the same community is fascinating. And there is some push and pull there between Josh O'Connor's and Josh Brolin's character because of the fact that they are still part of the same institution. It's not two different faiths or two different religious institutions, but the same one, which makes it interesting and which makes it a little bit more like, I'm going to change it from within the inside kind of idea versus I'm on the outsider, bringing you my own perspective. So
and kind of like bring it all down. And like here, it's like, no, he's trying to fix it from the foundation up.
From within. Correct. Yeah. It's very interesting. I find it fascinating as someone who I obviously clearly, as people can notice just by my pulled back commentary, that I have a lot of thoughts on the institution itself. And I do feel like there is something to be said about tearing it down completely. But I do think that Josh O'Connor offers that aspect of what faith can bring and the difference between the two, faith and religion, which are not always the same. And that's what Josh O'Connor can bring to people that someone like Benoit Blanc can't bring to people like Louise, no matter how hard Benoit Blanc can try to bring that level of comfort and that level of relief. He can't. He just can't. His genius is just not going to allow him to bring that, even if he can offer some other stuff. He can offer clarity, he can offer information, but he can't offer a level of comfort that someone like Josh O'Connor's priest character can, and priest role can, which is why I do think there's a lot of commentary on what is the role of a priest on society and on a community. And again, that scene of Louise, I think, is the most pivotal scene in the movie. But I want to go back to what you were talking about, RB3, which is the filmmaking aspect of this movie. What did you guys think about that when it comes to the cinematography, the production design, the way this movie is structured, the way that Rian Johnson uses his camera work to discuss his story? How'd you guys feel about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was honestly the biggest redeeming factor, the biggest thing I liked about this movie the most. I think that was the one elevation as opposed to the other Knives Out movies was the style, the tone was a lot cooler. In this one, I feel like a lot, just like suspenseful,
Bold, right?
bold, yeah, very Stephen King, like we talked about earlier. So yeah, I like that a lot. I love the camera angles, that the like low angle shots that obviously you're shooting up into the church ceiling and then you get them low angles. It was great. I mean,
The lighting, man.
yeah, lighting is great. Yeah, everything's phenomenal. Production design, costumes, of course, like technical aspects are amazing. So yeah, big salute to that.
Yeah, how'd you feel about it, Sabrina?
100% agree. I think anything with kind of like that Catholic backdrop, I feel like there's so much opportunity with the stained glass windows, with the way the light pours in. So anybody who is tackling a story like this should 100% be taking advantage of all of that and the like beautiful costumes and everything. So yeah, loved all those elements, and those were also a standout for myself as well.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I forgot one more thing. You mentioned the lighting, Andres. I loved the moments when it would go like dark mid scene, and then when the conversation kind of got dark and then go bright, like as the conversation got a little more hopeful or whatever. Again, it's like kind of cheesy, it's kind of on the nose, but like it really worked really well in my opinion. Yeah, and that was just that was brilliant. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was it was great. I think it worked really well the way the sun would come in certain scenes, especially through, like you said, Sabrina, the stained glass window, and that kind of aspect of it was really, really fun and really interesting. And I think that's part of the fun, right? As I said before, part of the comedy, the fun, but that's also fun, seeing those moments, like you said, RB3, when the script noticeably is telling the audience that this is more hopeful. It would also literally tell the audience with the lighting and with the sun, and with that scene. And real quick, obviously, before we move on to anything else, we can't not talk about Benoit Blanc himself, Daniel Craig, who shows up a little bit late in this movie, at least from what I felt. And then our lead, our good guy lead, which, as you said before, Sabrina, Ana de Armas and Janelle Monáe was previously, now Josh O'Connor. How'd you guys feel about their dynamic duo aspect of it, Sabrina?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was obviously definitely their film. Like we said, like some of the other characters felt completely underbaked and they just like didn't necessarily even need to be there. It kind of just felt like it because that's what we expect from an ensemble film like this. But Josh O'Connor and Daniel Craig, I know Daniel Craig is actually the one that kind of talked to Rian Johnson and said like, hey, you have to check out this kid. He is immensely talented. And I think that rapport that they have, maybe it's because they both worked with like Luca in the past, so they maybe knew each other a little bit. But I think it like really, really shines through the screen. I think their chemistry as kind of like, it's really weird. Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc, he really can like see right off the bat, because that's like his genius. He can really see when somebody is kind of like, I guess, pure of heart. And so you see throughout this entire time, like he really didn't think that it was him, like ever. At least to me, it just never, even when he like wanted to be suspicious, because of course you have to cover all of your bases. They really had a super funny relationship. Even when like Josh O'Connor is trying to speak and then he's on the organ going all crazy and it's kind of like that jump scare. It's just like endless. And I think it was you that said this, Andres, but yeah, it feels like every single film gets like a little bit sillier, but I think that's what makes it work so well.
Yeah, how'd you feel about them, RB3?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, they're, of course, them two are great. I feel like that's the only room in the script that they have with like, them two characters. Benoit Blanc coming in late. Again, this was literally, I hate to say it again, but like, it literally felt like an episode of Poker Face. I'm like, okay, introduce the story, act one, commercial break. Benoit Blanc comes in, he gets his perspective, commercial break. Okay, and then we get the finale. Like, it literally was like an exact episode of like Poker Face. And I hate to say that, but I watch TV and I watch movies, and like I like this one a little bit more.
You like Poker Face though.
I like Poker Face, but you see the formula after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you get okay with the formula when you see it on TV. When you see it in the movie, it's like, dang, like, okay, like I know exactly how Rian Johnson likes to set these things up. He does the exact same every time. So anyway, that is no hate, but just, I figured, Benoit, he's gonna come in late and do his thing. The tone is silly, but also like, fun too. I like the fun of it. For me, it was very cinematic. I love seeing it in the theater on the big screen. The theater I saw it in, I'm not gonna lie, the speakers was kind of jank. It was a little bit like a busted, kind of one of the speakers was kind of busted, so it sounded a little weird, and it was empty. So yeah, not a great like theatrical experience in that particular movie theater. I wish they'll play these films in like AMC or something though. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember seeing Glass Onion at AMC Century City. You know what I'm saying? Packed out crowd. That's what I'm kind of, dang, Andres, you saw in a packed out theater. Like I'm kind of jealous. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Good times though. Good times.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll get to it. When it comes to theaters and Netflix, but I do want to say that we saw the first one, Sabrina. I just remember this. Yeah. At the ArcLight, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wait, is the ArcLight coming back, guys?
I hope to God it is. I pray to God.
I've seen some reports lately, but like I know they've been saying this for literally like the last 5 years, where they're like, "Oh, next year it'll open back up." But anyways, that was so fun.
That was fun, yeah. That was a great theater experience. From what I remember, yeah. So yeah, I think watching these movies in the theater is a way to go still. And thankfully, I've seen all three in a movie theater because I do remember the select theaters for Glass Onion as well, because there was a time where they were doing that select theater thing as well. So they should expand that. I'm with you, RB3. I'm with you. Before we take off from this movie, favorite moment, favorite scene, funny scene, anything you enjoyed that kind of made you laugh or made you question something?
Ooh, I know was her name Louise in the movie? You were saying that scene, of course, such a standout immediately, because I didn't even like listen or like read anybody's reaction to the film at all before I saw it, and that right away I'm like, I know people are going to be loving that. Like that was so impactful. Gosh, something that I was trying to think about. This was on my mind the whole time. Okay, so again, like I said, didn't read anything about this film, didn't watch the trailer, nothing. I try not to whenever I go into a film that I'm like excited for. They have Jeremy Renner's hot sauce in Glass Onion. Yeah. And then Jeremy Renner's in this movie. I thought he was going to be playing himself. Like, I'm being so serious because he's in this universe. And then they had him. Is that just like, I don't know. Are they like buddies or something?
It's a guy that looks like Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Just a lookalike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was bothering me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Not even to be that person. Normally in like a universe, I wouldn't care. But so that was something that stuck with me. The scene with Luis. And just overall, everything Josh O'Connor did. I adore him. I think he is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, RB3, how about you?
Yeah, there was something funny that Jeremy Renner did that was funny. I can't remember off the top of my head. I did like Thomas Hayden Church coming in at the end, you know what I'm saying? Glenn Close. Actually, my favorite scene probably is like the flashback whole sequence, like kind of situation too. So that's probably my favorite scene. But favorite, least favorite thing, I'll probably say Mila Kunis. Like I could smell her unshowered ASS the entire screen time. I'm like, yo, get your ass in the shower. You know what I'm saying? But I think she's one of those bathe twice a month kind of people. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think she did say that. I think it's her and her husband.
Yeah. I don't want to put smell on their name, but I just smell you on screen. I can smell you.
I think Jeremy Renner and Mila Kunis had no business being in this movie for real. Not even to be a hater like that, but like they took me out because he was phoning it in entirely. At least Annie and Andrew Scott were trying their best with the material that they were given. Glenn Close, same thing. She's doing her best. It's just throughout the film until we get to like Glenn Close's big reveal, she just doesn't really have much to do. That's the thing. It's like they really didn't have a lot. But yeah, Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis, it could have been better.
Switch Jeremy Renner and Mila Kunis with Andrew Scott and Kaylee Spaney, like role wise, like, and I think we would have had
that could have been funny.
Fire movie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
also, just on a personal human being. I don't know if they should be in that movie.
Yeah,
Not the
that
best
too.
people in Hollywood, if you know anything. So there's that. But I do feel like out of all of them, I think Kaylee Spade's might have been the worst. Andrew Scott was pretty bad too. His role,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the role. Their performances are fine, but their role are so thin, like so thin to the point I'm like, it's almost unbelievably thin. There's nothing there for Kaylee Spade to do except just look and just stare and smoke, I guess. I don't know. And then Jeremy Renner, just a whole nothing there. Mila Kunis, same. Yeah, this was really the toughest and when it came to cast wise. Something that I thought was a little unbelievable in the movie, I'm not unbelievable, but just a little silly, was the fact that this guy really wanted to be some sort of revolutionary leader for like the far right when he had 5 people go to his church. Bro, you can't even get like a congregation in there. And I know
He
that was
was
a
doing
point. He
numbers
wanted
on like
to.
YouTube, I think, right? I
Yeah,
can't
he was. He
exact
was.
numbers, but like, I mean,
True, true.
chat him
But
or
the fact
something.
the fact that he was like, "Yo, I'm a baller. I'm such a good speaker." Because even Josh O'Connor's character, he was like, "Man, he's a really good speaker, though." Even though what he was saying was bad, and I was like, "Yeah, but you still only got 5 people in your church." I don't know. As you said, Sabrina, as someone who's seen mega churches and been in mega churches,
No.
it's a different level. The fact that they can get thousands of people in there. So I thought that was a little funny. Yeah, the resurrection stuff was pretty funny. I thought that was interesting. A little unbelievable, but again, that's the point of these movies. Thomas Hayden Church had to sit in that coffin for I don't know how many hours by himself. I was like, damn, bro, really? You were in there for like 12 hours in there?
He
I
was
don't
doing
know.
it for the girl he loves, man.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
That
That's
scene
what
was
He
funny.
loved her. He
That
loved
scene
her.
was funny. What like that was in the first like 10 minutes of the movie, but it was funny when he like slaps her butt and Josh O'Connor goes like,
right.
"What's going on here?" His reactions were great. He definitely stole the movie. Not hard to steal, except for maybe Daniel Craig's character, because there wasn't anyone he had to compete with besides Daniel Craig. But he definitely stole the movie. I'm with you, Sabrina. He was good. He was really, really good. He was great in the comedy, great in the emotional aspects. When he felt like really hard feelings, you could feel really hard feelings. So shout out to Josh O'Connor. He definitely carried this movie for me personally. How would you guys rank these films?
I think it's literally 1, 2, 3 for me.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's 1, 2, 3 as well.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 as well. RB3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there's parts of Glass Onion that are funnier and that do hit a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Edward Norton is like a better villain or a better like foil than like
Josh Brolin.
Chris Evans is in the first Knives Out.
Chris
you know
Evans,
what I'm saying? Yeah, just in terms of like, that side of it. But yeah, I'll say it'll probably be one.
I mean, that's like Coughing Baby versus like Atomic Bomb. Like Edward Norton is so talented, and then it's like Chris Evans. So I get it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
that,
the writing definitely helped him out a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Chris Evans.
But he has so many iconic lines. I feel like the iconic lines in these movies are something that needs to be remembered. Does this one have an iconic line? I want to say it does.
I got it.
You know what? It really does. Like, because I did see the first 2 in theaters, and this is the first one that I haven't seen in theaters because it was kind of hard to see in LA, if I'm being honest. And so I do think that really affected my experience, even something as far as like thinking of my favorite moments, thinking of my favorite lines. Like, I'm kind of blanking on it, unfortunately, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, Chris Evans, man, he has some great lines. So shout out to that first movie. Shout out to these movies in general. I think they're great. I think we all love Rian Johnson and appreciate his work, and we appreciate these movies. Before we move on, RB3, there's people in the chat, man, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, people in the chat, thank you for commenting. Now, if you leave a super chat, we will read your comment almost immediately. So leave super chats, show love, show support. But we'll show love to everybody who showed up. So thank y'all. Joseph Weeks says, "Awesome, see you 3 together again." Thank you, Joseph Weeks. S. Lewis said, "First cut. Been listening since the SCN show during the pandemic. Thanks for the enjoyable movie content. The Star Wars, like the Rebels line was funny too. It was funny but too real. Oh yeah, I guess they did say that in Wake Up, Damn It, huh? That's funny.
That was funny.
Amro said, "Yo, what's up, good people?" And yes, the cell phone scene was sensational. Straight edged vegan Bell said most of it was good. Who's this? Grab. Shout out to you. I remember you. I can't remember how to pronounce your name though, my brother. You gotta have to tell me. Side characters definitely not as good as the other two ensembles. I wish I watched it in theaters. Mila Kunis underperformed. Somebody mentioned on Twitter, imagine if Jeffrey Wright played the sheriff instead. That would have been actually a good idea. And also every villain is an Avenger, by the way. Oh shoot, yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, like, when you think about it, I mean, I guess technically Josh Brolin was Thanos, but
is it in the Avengers?
He's in the Avengers. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's funny.
Yeah, speaking of Avengers leaks, now I'm playing. We're not going to talk about that.
I was gonna say, is that real? Is that?
No, we're not going to get there. We're not. Okay. We're not going to be taken down.
I don't care about anything coming out about this film. The moment they cast Robert Downey Jr. again, I know I've said this to death. I don't care.
We were there, Sabrina. We were there.
I would have
RB3 and I were there.
Y'all are better than me. Like the fact that everybody is so, it feels like, and I'm so sorry. I know we said we weren't going to get into this, but everything I hear about this movie, which is already not a lot, not as much as everybody else is paying attention to it, but it feels like a legacy sequel that would have come out like 10, 15 years later. But the fact that they're doing this a few years later, low-key embarrassing. Like Russo brothers need to be stopped. I can't believe there was a world that I believed in their filmmaking and their storytelling. Like it's whatever.
Yeah, Russo Brothers needs to be stopped. Has to be a hashtag. Because that's the realest thing, man. I mean, RB3, you're my witness. You saw my reaction to that in real time. I was not happy. Literally, I was the only one who did not get up out of my seat. It was crazy. Out of I don't know how many thousands of people were in that room. We'll see. We will see. Because after Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't believe in the MCU anymore. But that is just me. Let's move. Yeah, for real. Let's move on to what you talked about. I think you've talked about this like 5 times on this channel, RB3.
We talking about the Warner Brothers
about this for like 10 hours, bro.
Are we talking about Warner Brothers right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
RB3, I guess since you've talked about it for 10 hours already on this channel, how are you feeling about it now, man?
No, I mean, Warner Brothers and look, I mean, well, it depends on what you're asking what I feel about it. I feel great because I have money in Warner Brothers stock. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going up and up. But what I'm feeling about the situation, I genuinely do hope that Netflix wins this out, because if it's Netflix versus Paramount, Paramount is like a pure Trump sponsored corporation at this point. I don't want to see that. I also feel like there's also just going to be less of a jobs impact, less of a layoff impact with a Paramount merger too. So, and plus, what kind of sense does it make when Paramount's way broker than Warner Brothers? Like Paramount, like when you just look at like the top 10 box office movies,
flops after flops.
Like literally, like it doesn't make any sense. Like all like top 10 of these this year, like it's at least 3 Warner Brothers movies, probably like 5 Disney movies, but it's like 0 Paramount. It's like, gosh dang, like they haven't had a hit since like Transformers Rise of the Beast. And it's like, y'all think y'all could buy Warner Brothers? No, stop it. So yeah, my money's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think the more we hear about this deal and the more we hear about the intentions that Paramount has, the more it just kind of becomes inevitable that Netflix is the better option, because the Paramount option, like you said, RB3, I think something that hasn't been as discussed, and it should be discussed. Obviously, everyone talks about the right-wing aspect of it, which is real, and it should be probably the most prominent reason why Paramount shouldn't be the one to buy it. But another aspect, the layoffs, like the fact that Paramount is determined to lay off like 3 times the amount that Netflix is determined to lay off, or whatever it will be, is apparently real. And that's coming from insiders and for people who have some pretty deep inside information on what Paramount is planning. when it comes to this acquisition, merger, whatever. It's pretty disheartening and scary, to be honest, especially if you live in LA. So I do feel like the more we hear about this deal, it is sad, as I think we're all movie theater fans and cinephile fans, and we're hoping that Ted Sarandos is in line when he says, even today, I think he said, that they're not going to do anything differently, which is probably not true. But at the same time, it still probably would be much, much worse if Paramount gets it. But what do you think, Sabrina?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lesser of two evils situation. It
Hmm.
sucks that we're in this predicament in the first place, but I think if Paramount ends up getting that opportunity, it will be 100,000 times worse. Like we said, they flop. Honestly, the people in charge right now are completely ruining the legacy of Paramount. It's kind of intense. It's insane. Like even thinking about what they've done with like just how all the changes that are happening in entertainment over kind of like the last 4 years to capitulate to the Trump administration and to those types of people. We see with like CBS, as we have kind of like a weekend of really intense news, things that we actually want to see, hear, and discuss about. We want to get those details. We just have them posting about Erica Kirk all weekend. And this town hall that was the silliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, don't watch it. Don't watch it on the stuff. Watch like recaps on other people's channels. Don't give them that money. But it is very, very bleak. And I was always somebody that I mean, even back in like 2019, back when we were in the Collider Studios, like way before the pandemic, and we were talking about how kind of, theater turnout is lower. Like there's a lot of things shifting in the industry. I didn't think it would happen this fast, just like losing the goodwill of people, capitulating to the worst people out there. And even when we see reports, and this obviously has nothing to do with necessarily Netflix and Paramount, but reports of like, oh, fans are like, they're really looking to fans to kind of decide who to cast in something and things like that. It's like we're really losing the artistry in entertainment, obviously introducing AI into a lot of this stuff. It's just insane. So I hope Netflix wins. I really hope they change nothing about the theatrical experience. It would be such a shame if this had happened a year and a half ago and we had to watch Sinners at home. We had to watch even something like Barbie or like it doesn't matter what film it is. I like having the choice of, okay, do I wait 5 months and I could catch this random film on streaming, something like, Hard Eyes or something like that I'm not just going to go run out to see in a theater. I like having the choice and not being told like, no, you're going to have to watch it at home. So I hope we preserve the theatrical experience for as long as we possibly can. And we have those options because it's already not great. And then so if they do take that step forward, it's even worse.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And I kind of believe him when he says that they won't just be straight to streaming movies. That's probably obvious. I think the windows are the scary part. If anyone is a fan of watching movies again, or watching movies late, if you can't watch a movie the first 2 weeks it comes out, and if you're screwed after that, that'd be kind of sad, because I think that's part of the fun of movies in general. And then I think that's part of the business of movies, for crying out loud. Like the movies that Sinners is probably the biggest example. Ironically enough, the legs that movie had was because of word of mouth, and was because of 3, 4, 5 weekends after the movie came out. So hopefully, if they do win, which I think all three of us are kind of saying they should, that they don't change that, because that's something that I want them to preserve.
Absolutely. And even, sorry.
Oh, no, you go.
And even just deciding like what does end up getting a theatrical release versus what doesn't. Because we've obviously Netflix play around with like Glass Onion, some of their awards contenders. They're seeing it with like, I believe I heard that they're doing some Stranger Things finale or episodes or whatever in theaters. So you can really tell that they're kind of like picking and choosing. So that's just what I hope with Warner Brothers films, that everything will get a shot at least.
That's, I'm so glad you said that, Sabrina, because you literally was going to like exactly where my head was at too. But so there's two things to it, right? Like for one, I actually think, and nobody says this, but it should be stated across the board. There is no greater single company that killed the theatrical window more than Warner Brothers. Okay. Remember when they did the Date and Date, HBO Max, The Matrix, they almost put Tenet on there, and then Christopher Nolan almost sued them. You know what I'm saying? Literally they had all the 2020 and 2021s, Wonder Woman,
Dune.
you know, Dune, exactly. Like
I saw Dune in theaters and
then went home and watched
that same
it,
night
right.
and watched it at home.
Exactly. And hey, look, as a fan, I thought it was fun. I loved it. But that was single-handedly the thing. It wasn't that Netflix did, because even Netflix will still put, you know, Wake Up Dead Man, Jay Kelly, Train Dreams. These are all films I've seen in theaters, like at a theater. Now, it wasn't an AMC. I had to go to an independent theater, which, hey, maybe we should like kind of start maybe doing that anyway. You know what I'm saying? I know like they own the Egyptian, you know, Netflix owns the Egyptian. So maybe, you know, I want to go more independent movie theaters personally, but like, you know, they give some of their movies, if they're trying to give it award consideration, at least a 2, maybe 3 week window. HBO Max was like, yo, Warner Brothers was like, yo, let's do a day and date. And I think that is what killed people's like mind. Like that's what really destroyed audiences settlement and consumer patterns, because now it really did become like, okay, well, I'll just wait till it comes on streaming. And even to this day, you know, one battle after another came out at the end of September. If I'm not mistaken, like September 20th or something like that. They just announced that it's going to be hitting HBO Max on December 19th. So it literally only had a 2-month window, like, or sorry, a 3-month window technically. So like, you know, just literally just about 3 months, it went from theaters to free streaming on HBO Max. So it's like Warner Brothers is already kind of coped to the window. Like they already like have kind of collapsed it themselves anyway. I think that like people kind of villainize Netflix for doing that, and rightfully so, because they have been anti-theaters. But at the same time, like their movies are also way more cinematic, I think, than a lot of other people's movies, if I'm being honest. Like, again, I mentioned Jay Kelly. Like, Jay Kelly is a movie that if it was A24, they would have spent $15-20 million on it, and it would have been, you know, something that came out for a week and gone. Netflix, it comes for a week and it's gone, but they spent $50 million on it, $60 million on it. You watch the behind the scenes special ed on it. They spent 3 weeks just rehearsing the opening shot. They went to France and Paris and rented out an entire train and did all this. Is like, yo, I kind of like the fact that Netflix is like trying to make cinematic movies, and they'll put them in theaters for a little bit, but maybe now that with Warner Brothers, they have an arm to like be like, okay, now Jay Kelly doesn't have to just go straight to Netflix anymore. Now we can give that, we can put that under the Warner Brothers label and give it more of a release. Or hey, like, you know, again, I said this during the live stream too. Barbie, like there's no reality where Barbie 2 comes straight to Netflix. You know what I'm saying? There's no reality where the Batman comes straight to Netflix or Superman 2 comes straight to Netflix. Like it just, like they are gonna, that's literally losing billions of dollars like on the table, leaving billions of dollars on the table. So it's like Netflix is gonna change their business model whether they want to or not if they get involved with this deal. In my opinion.
Yeah. There's definitely, I agree with everything you said. There's a lot of nuance to this conversation when it comes to Netflix. And I think the initial reaction from film Twitter, I believe it was last week or like almost 2 weeks ago now, almost 14 days ago, was the people preaching about theatrical experience, which I think has always been something we all agree. It is beautiful and it is awesome and it is the better way to see a movie. But I do think there is another aspect to this conversation that, if I'm being honest, I don't think I've seen anyone really talk about these last 2 weeks specifically. And it's something you've talked about, RB3, a lot since the Collider days, since the Schmoes days. And something that I've been talking about a little bit is that the theatrical experience is not cheap. And it's kind of hard for a lot of people to get that. So the fact that Netflix has provided quality, big budget movies to people who maybe don't have the opportunity to go see movies every weekend is something that needs to be said as well. And also the fact that everyone is preaching about movies and going to see movies in movie theaters, but the fact that sometimes it kind of sucks seeing a movie in a movie theater. Sometimes, like you said, RB3,
yes.
the sound speakers are janky.
Trash.
The audience is trash. Is annoying. They're on their phone. There's teenagers kicking you. And there's no etiquette. It's super expensive. And you want a drink, it costs you $25. You want a park, it costs you $25. And the sound system in the theater looks like crap, and it's like the size of like it's like tiny now. I don't know. Theaters aren't necessarily doing a good job of catering towards getting audiences back in there either, which is why, you know, people are choosing to watch these movies at home.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, too, when RB3 was talking about like some independent theaters, I would love to go to more. I still have like my favorites in LA, obviously. We love the Egyptian, love the Vista, we love the New Bev, like all of those. But I can only go I can only go like a certain amount of times per year, unfortunately. I wish I could do more. But that's why I am like, I'm like ride or die for AMC. So put them in an AMC theater. I tend to have better experiences there. I think the one at the Grove is probably the only one that I've had a problem with, just like audience wise. Because even at a premiere, like it's not even just AMCs or independent theaters. It really can happen anywhere. At a premiere, maybe like a month and a half ago, there was a person in front of me that was on their phone the entire time, full brightness on the screen for some reason. Nobody said a word to her. Don't know how it wasn't seen. But that's like at the Chinese theater for a full premiere of a film. So yeah, the etiquette is just out the window no matter where you go. You just never know.
That to me, Sabrina, you said it, and I know RB3, you might have a different take, but to me, the etiquette. It's the etiquette. Like you can talk, like I saw people on Twitter last week or 2 weeks ago being like, going to the movie theater is like going to church for me. It's like, this is beautiful. I love it. And I'm like, in church, you can't just like stand up and like look at TikTok on your phone, bro. Like there's etiquette, like for crying out loud, bring back the etiquette.
I've been really lucky, I will say, where typically I always have really good audiences. Like even the way they react to films, like it does feel very communal. So that's been great. It's just a few here and there. Sometimes you just never know.
Some of them are just tough, man. I don't know. Some of them I'm just like, this is why y'all don't exist, or gonna not exist in like 25 years, because you can't get these people to just like respect the idea of being in a movie theater. The way I grew up, and I'm gonna be an old man now, but the way I grew up, like that was something that was intrinsically taught to us as kids. I don't know about you guys, even like the first few movies my parents brought me to, that's something that they've always told us, right? As parents, that's something that your parents tell you. It's like, hey, you're in a movie theater, don't talk, be quiet, listen and watch the movie and enjoy the movie. Even as a kid, you were taught that it's supposed to be a respectable experience and not something that you're in your living room watching. Like respect the people around you. I don't know. I can talk about that.
I know I was bad at one showing. My mom took me to go see You Don't Mess with the Zohan for some reason. Don't know why. I don't know when that came out, but I was probably like 6 years old. She fully fell asleep. And so me and my sister were just running around the theater the whole time. But I don't even think anybody was there. It was like middle of the day. So I was a badass kid once. Sorry. That's why if I see one every so often, I'm like, I've been there, done that.
See, that's for me. If the theater is empty, like go all in. Like I remember me and my homies, we went to see Teen Titans Go. And it was completely empty theater. It was just the four of us. And we had a ball. I mean, we was running, we was screaming, we was like dancing. Like it was a good time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just us. So like, whatever. Same thing when I saw low-key, again, like the Netflix films I saw, this independent theater. I said the one I saw, Wake Up Dead Man, trash theater, that was in Downey. Don't recommend it. I have this new theater that's by my house. It's called Cinema West Cinema West Beach Cities. It used to be an ArcLight. It was an ArcLight that was like in Manhattan Beach, but then they shut it down and then they just reopened it. And I was trepidatious because I was like, it used to be ArcLight, it used to be my baby. But then like I go there and I'm not gonna lie, like the theater is so nice. Like literally the projections is like crystal clean. Sound is good. It smells good. Like it doesn't, most of your smell like movie theater popcorn, whatever. It literally smelled like Baccarat Rogue. You know what I'm saying? Like it smelled like really nice. Like Rouge. Yeah, Rouge. My bad. It smelled good and like everything was friendly. And they have a Dolby Atmos, a 4DX, and a ScreenX. I don't know what ScreenX is. I don't use that.
Isn't that the side one?
That's the side one.
That like has. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I walked into, because I was leaving one of the movies and I walked into the ScreenX just to see. I literally almost had a heart attack. Like I freaked the freak. It was so scary. Like, because you literally walk in and you're like, you literally walk into the screen, like type thing. Like the door is inside of a screen. And you're like, holy, like it was, Nah.
Well, so I've only seen one film with Screen X, and that actually it was the first time I saw Black Panther because the Black Panther tickets
I
sold
remember
out
we talked about
everywhere.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they sold out everywhere. I could not find it, and I was like, no, I need to go opening night. You don't understand.
Right.
So I went 45 minutes away to a theater in like Irvine, California.
Oh, shit.
It was Screen X, and it had Korean subtitles the whole time.
Dang.
10 out of 10. Shout out Ryan Coogler for that experience.
Yeah.
I actually really loved it.
Yeah,
But
I
I
was gonna.
probably wouldn't go watch an actual film in Screen X. It's like only if I'm really desperate.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was for me. It probably like when you walk in is good. For me, it was the fact that I walked in the middle of Wicked, mid like Cynthia Erivo like belting, and I'm like underneath her armpit. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not what I want to do right now. Like it's embarrassing, you know.
I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that as someone who does not like those crazy theater
It
experiences.
was a little too much, but that's fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say when it comes to watching in a movie theater, I feel like part of what got me to love ArcLight so much, and I've talked to you guys about this like ad nauseum, is the fact that they preach theater etiquette like pretty hard, even from an individual point of view, with someone literally telling you that this is the ArcLight and you're going to respect the crap out of the ArcLight. And that theater experience was really precious to me. So hopefully, I feel like that needs to come back, but that's also a society issue. Like the fact that society is becoming more, disregarding human beings a lot more on every level. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, they're just having somebody just walk in for that first 10 minutes, make sure
Yeah.
screen's good, picture's good, sounds
that
good.
helped. That helps a
really
lot.
helps, yeah.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Alamo Draft House too. I've been there a couple times. And people said it used to be really dope. It's not that great to me. Like the food is the best part is the food, but honestly, the screen was really small, and then the speakers are really kind of weak, and the seats are kind of hecka tight. So I
was gonna say too, my chair was all messed up when I went to, I forgot what was the last film I went to go see at Alamo Draft House. But yeah, my chair like was all rubbed off.
Yeah.
So it was like raw fabric. I think it was leather coating. Yeah. And so it's just like little things like that just like keep up with it. And those tickets cost an arm and a leg, and I'm spending a ton on food. Like that's even worth like, to AMC and spending like $8 on a slushie.
Yeah. That's what I will say. The AMC did get really good at like, if you have an A-list and you get the little popcorn pass thing, like low key, you could have a movie and a popcorn for like kind of like $10, or you go with like $8. You know what I'm saying? You paid a little monthly thing, whatever. But like you go $8 in your pocket, you could have a large popcorn and a quality entertainment. You know what I'm saying? If you play the cards right. So that's why AMC is kind of nice with that.
Or what you could do is what I love to do, and just shove food under your boyfriend's shirt and have him sneak it into the theater. You have like a Caniac box combo.
There
You got
you go.
Yard House. You got whatever is going on. They don't know. They don't care.
Yeah.
You have like a beer in your like sleeve.
Right.
All-
Bring the bottle opener, just crack it open
Yeah.
inside. There you go.
Like sitting there. Always like when it's really loud.
right.
That's I was gonna say, as someone who's done that, it's loud, and that's the hard part. It's like every time you bring food in and you take it out, you're just like, you're looking around, and it's like it's so loud when you open.
I know. I saw the Smashing Machine, and I snuck in like wings and truffle fries from Yard House, and they gave it to you in that like plastic or that like paper bag, and it's so thick. So I'm like
You're like
unraveling it. And
just making all this noise.
so chill, yeah. Especially the beginning, and I'm like, damn, I really want my truffle fries, but I'm trying to wait for like any
The
loud.
loudest scene, yeah.
Right. And then Smash Machine's just all talking scenes. So
It's all
fine.
talking.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, I was just like, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but either way, we're hoping for the best for WB because we do love the movies that they have produced in the past and that they have made this year. So yeah, speaking of like WB too, like DC and what they got going on. So hopefully we can see a good outcome. But speaking of gigantic movies coming out, Avatar Fire and Ash is finally coming out this weekend. RB3,
We're talking about
we
that
are
too.
back. We are doing it.
I don't have
Navi represent.
Right. I don't have a lower third for that one, by the way. But yeah, let's do it.
Navi gang signs out here representing Tulkun, Payakan. We out here, bro. Right? That's what they're called. They're called Tulkun. Shout out to my Tulkun, man. They're my fam. And shout out to, I guess, the Fire Tribe now, I guess. Whatever it is, we're here. How are you feeling, RB3, that we are finally going to see this movie?
I'm good, man. I mean, I'm a little mad at Disney for not getting back to me for seeing the early screenings or the premiere, but whatever. It's good. It's good.
Call them out.
But, in all honesty, you know me, I love Avatar, so I'm excited for it. And I watch it, I got tickets Thursday and Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm probably going to do a couple more after that, too, with the homies. So, yeah.
Crazy. That's a real deal. Yeah. I swear, I feel like it's fair to call them out, because if anyone deserved to be there, it was you, man. And that's something I made sure to tell you, man. It's like they got the biggest promoter of Avatar right here, and they don't even invite you, even after you reach out to them. That's how I felt low-key some type of way when I did that with Alien. Because I went to the Alien premiere. That was like my first ever premiere last year, Romulus. They invited me. They liked me. They said they liked my interview with the director, Fede Alvarez. And I talked to their PR people, and then I sent them an email, and they were like, ghosted me completely. Did not get back to me.
Just after.
No, this was for Alien.
Was it for Alien Earth? You were trying to get
Alien Earth. Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
That might be a different department, though.
That's what they told me. That's what one person told me. But then they gave me the email of that department, and then I reached out to them, and they still didn't reply back.
We don't
I'm still mad about it. And I was like, "Come on, y'all." Anyway, Avatar: Fire and Ash coming out this weekend. RB3, you are the biggest Fire and Ash fan, so hopefully, when Avatar 4 and 5 and 6 come out, they make you a Navi extra, bro. They put you in a mocap suit.
Hey, look, their studio's right here in Manhattan Beach. Like, I'm literally 20 minutes away from their studio. So
aren't they doing that for like influencers, right? Didn't they put like an influencer in the movie or something?
I don't know who they should have got me. But I was fortunate enough to go out there for Avatar 2 when they did the VFX tour, Way of Water. So yeah, that was great. I'm gonna be dropping clips of that. The old clips, I shout out Dorian. We kind of love him here. I sent my boy like 4 clips last year, and he only posted 1. So all the other 3 are going on first cut. Keep the lookout. And we have a lot of content coming. So
yeah, low key. And I know I don't want to bring the energy down, but like R.I.P. homie. He seemed like a great guy, right? You got to
John Landau, yeah, the producer.
He gave you a great interview, man, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was a great interview. I mean, great talk, great chat. I mean, it was, really, he let me hold his Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Like, great dude, man, great dude. Rest in peace. He was amazing. Yeah, he was amazing.
He was cool, man. He was cool. I've seen the Way of Water behind the scenes. I bought the Ultra. Like 72-hour BTS Blu-ray. So I got to see a lot of him because he's the guy who does the behind the scenes for that, and he seemed like a really cool guy. So RIP to him, and I'm excited for Fire and Ash. But someone who has seen Fire and Ash is on this show, RB3, and who was at the premiere, drinking up all the fire and all the ash. Sabrina, you got to see this movie. How was the premiere?
I did. Okay, so the premiere was great. They really have been pulling out a lot of the works, just like really immersing you. I think when it comes to like Tron or these, Disney has done a really good job of just setting the whole premiere up like beautifully. So they had like renders of the characters, they had costumes, they had just all these different things going into it. So then once the film started, they brought out the entire cast. They brought out Miley Cyrus because she has, of course, like the song for the film. And James Cameron was chatting. I know James Cameron, like he made a really, it was a really beautiful speech, and he was, talking about John Landau, but then he was also talking about, Avatar is known for the technology, but the technology to me are these actors. It's the people behind the scenes. It's all of these people that are just like working so cohesively to make everything come out beautifully the way that it was. But I was like, isn't he like the head of an AI company? But whatever. That's because he made a huge deal of like, these are the people, the artists that are working on it. But I'm pretty sure he's like part of an AI company.
I thought he said it was anti-AI. Didn't that come out?
I think he just said that like recently, but he is literally like the chair. Someone fact check me while I talk about my like quick review of the actual film, but he's like a chair of some AI company. I don't know if it's like, it could be good. There are potential good opportunities for AI that we haven't seen yet. I don't know too much, but The film itself, I'm a huge Avatar hater, but I do think like one, two, and three, I think they're getting better and better and better, and they're kind of reeling me into the story finally. So I actually really enjoyed this one. This is definitely my favorite so far. Um, it was just really great. I think the runtime does get me just a little bit because there's multiple times where I'm like, the story could wrap up here, and because I know we're gonna see these characters again, like we do have so many more opportunities. RB3 is gonna be at so many more Avatar premieres down the line.
You know, if they keep making them, if this one doesn't flop, you know.
No, I don't think it's gonna flop because it is really, really good. And again, I am a hater. Like I think we can go back to like when was it? Like 2022 when Way of Water came out, maybe
Oh, yeah.
23. And we had some videos and like I refused to watch it that year. Like I was just so not into it. But I really, really enjoyed this one. I think um just the direction that they're taking these characters and the story and the way they're really like building up the entire world so much. I think they did a phenomenal job. Like, of course, I don't want to say too much, but
Yeah.
I liked it. And if it has like the Sabrina stamp of approval, you know it's like really good because they had to win me over. I was not won over yet.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really do can't wait. I loved Way of Water, and I think this one is going to be right up my alley. And shout out to the cast. I do feel like the cast is great, and the new cast members. Unla Chaplin is in this one, who played Talisa Stark in Game of Thrones. And I know you guys don't watch Game of Thrones, but she's a great character in that show as well. And she's playing the lead fire, whatever princess in
She
this
was
one.
phenomenal.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out the Starks, man. The Starks are always bringing it. So, RB3, what were you gonna say?
So, by the way, I have a I have a bit of a timeline on James Cameron's AI comments. So, July 2023, James Cameron said, "I warned you guys in 1984, and you didn't listen." Talking about Terminator. So he was anti-AI in 2023. In April 2025, just this past year, James Cameron joined Stability AI's board of directors. So he joined, like you said, Sabrina, the board of directors for an AI company. And then December of 2025, just this past month, he says he's not anti-AI. He says, I'm not negative about generative AI. I just want to point out that we don't use it on the Avatar films. We honor and respect actors. We don't replace actors. So like he kind of goes a little bit back and forth. Seems like he's not anti-AI, but he just doesn't use it for Avatar, you know, according to him. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not either, though, because I kind of remember when I talked to the visual effects guys for Avatar 2, like they kind of alluded to like they didn't say generative AI. They said machine learning. They said we use machine learning technology, and machine learning is basically AI. So I was like, well, is that AI? And they were like, well, it's not AI, but it's an algorithm to help us with the visual effects, basically. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, I don't know. It seems like
So maybe I should go back to being a hater.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
it seems
think-
like he's on this board, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of giving us an iffy answer on it. So I don't know.
I think there will be a conversation eventually talking about VFX specifically, because I'm sure it's used in some sort of VFX worldwide, because obviously the whole movie's VFX. So I'm sure it kind of has to be used in some sort of VFX way, in like maybe like a coloring way where it's like correcting or, you know,
or
making something easier.
Or maybe it's literally something of like they program like an AI to like automatically, like, I don't know, keep the background stable or something that's like
that, yeah,
kind of not really generative AI, but just something that's like, you know, something like that. But the fact that he's on this board of directors, Sabrina, is very concerning. So yeah, you're definitely right on that. And that was in April of this year. So
I think it's funny every time they interview James Cameron for anything, because he's always going to bring something. I still think it was hysterical when that submarine thing exploded. And the first thing they brought up talking about this tragedy is James Cameron. They kept interviewing him for that because he apparently knew more about it than anyone else on the planet. There's this tiny show that nobody watched called Future Man. Josh, what's his face? PETA from Hunger Games.
Josh Hutcherson?
Josh Hutcherson on Hulu that came out like in, I don't know,
Or is it Hutcherson?
2015.
I don't know.
Yeah, Josh Hutcherson, which came out in like 2015 or something, and they do like a giant James Cameron like 3 episode joke. And it's really funny. It's really, really cool. He has to like break into James Cameron's house and stuff. And it's a it's a funny show, but nobody watched it. So it got canceled after like.
I was going to say, speaking of shows, have you guys watched Welcome to Derry at all?
I haven't.
You know, I saw our first episode.
I'm gonna watch it though.
Yeah, my boy John, he says like his favorite TV show like of the year. Like
really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it because obviously I'm the biggest, you guys know It and It Too, Pennywise. Love those movies. So I'm definitely gonna watch it. The one I've been watching is Pluribus. Have you guys watched that? The Apple TV show?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so good.
I have some issues with it. I kind of want to do I think I might have the hottest takes on that show.
Okay, let me know. I have a video essay plan for that one. So let me know what you are going.
Okay.
Is the season already done?
So I was going to say, I might have a video essay plan for that. Okay.
The finale's next week. The finale is this week.
Wow.
Week. Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, again, speaking of shows, this is the most TV. And again, people can, or anybody who's been watching First Cut Live or whatever knows that I do not keep up with TV. The Chair Company was also phenomenal. I absolutely love The Chair. I don't know if you guys watched that one, but
I haven't. No.
I did. I didn't like the ending of it, but yeah, that's cool. But no. It's only just because.
Did you watch Friendship?
Yeah, I did watch Friendship. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like Friendship. I didn't know it wasn't like, I didn't know it was like a season 2 kind of thing. So I'm like, God dang, like I ain't get no answers to none of this. Like, but I guess they go on to a season 2. So yeah, can't be mad at that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good TV this year. The Task was really good. Do you guys see The Task with Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything. I literally just watched because I was bored and they kept showing me ads for it. And I was like, this is probably going to be a basic ass show. And it was pretty good. It was really good, actually. It surprised me. I didn't think I'd be invested in a show like that, but it really did get me. But yes, RB3, speaking of Pluribus, talk to me about it, man, because I definitely had some takes on it that I was interested to getting out. But it's cool that you're doing a video essay on it.
Now we could collaborate on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. What's his face always goes hard. The guy who makes it, Vince Gilligan. Is it Vince Gilligan?
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But Sabrina, we gotta talk about The Chair Company one of these days because, like,
I'm down.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of good in that show, and I do love Friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ending just irked me, but yeah, Pluribus,
I get that
Chair
though.
Company, you know what I'm saying? All of it, yeah. There's good TV and good movie.
Welcome to Derry. I'm telling you guys, you do have to watch it. You absolutely do. It's shockingly good. I really had very low expectations, even though I love it, and I was so excited that they were doing this. You guys have to watch.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the first episode was just so scary for me. I couldn't first episode really.
They go hard. They really take advantage of the fact that this is on HBO Max and it's not coming out like theatrically. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, too. That's something that the It movies weren't that scary, bro. They were not that scary, and I'm just kind of mad because I'm just like, that's kind of what made me like it. Like, I love horror, but not that scary, man. Come on now. I'm saying, like, why did they have to make the show so scary?
Yeah.
When the movies weren't even that scary. I don't know. I'm kind of salty
like the movies, and this is actually a criticism that I have, not just of like Welcome to Derry, but actually the 2 films even more so.
Yeah.
Is that I think because it's so reliant on visual effects, I think it makes it less scary. Like, it kind of makes it look a little bit more fun, a little bit sillier. And so I do still find those movies to be scary, and Welcome to Derry is definitely like, it's scarier.
Yeah.
But that's why I love the original show so much with Tim Curry, is because to me he's actually really scary. Like, every part of that show is terrifying versus like the over reliance on visual effects in these kind of makes it a little bit more silly for me.
Yeah. Scared. Yeah. When they got them demon bats flying around and I couldn't do it.
Like, yeah, I don't want to say spoilers since you haven't seen it, Andres, but yeah, the first episode's intense. It's a really good tee up to like what you expect for the rest of it.
Oh, believe me, I started it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I just haven't been able to get through it, but I will. I will. I swear. I just have to find
It,
the right time of day, the right
No,
schedule.
genuinely, there's a scene in one of the episodes, and I don't want to say anything, has nothing to do with Pennywise, and it is one of the scariest scenes that I've ever seen.
Mm.
Or at least definitely in a TV show, definitely in any of the It films, and honestly, in a very, very long time. And it has nothing to do with Pennywise. It's done so well. And it was like started off like one take. It's I'm speechless. Okay.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that. That's a skip for me. That's a skip for
No.
me. But, nah, I mean, I'll catch it. I'll say
I'll eventually.
I'll eventually catch it. I'll say since the Chair Company ended, my HBO Sundays have been absolute trash. There's been nothing to watch besides because I watch it, the Dairy, and then the I Love LA show is just like
I was gonna watch that too. Is that good?
I only watch it because I literally have nothing to watch. Like that's literally the only reason I'm sitting through it. And I like Rachel Sennott, but it's not good, And
No? Okay.
it's kind of so in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Sabrina, but
No, I agree with you. It's good, like it's decent, but it's not anything like, because everybody was kind of thinking of like its predecessors, like Girls,
or
all these
Insecure.
other shows. There are elements of those shows that like are what make them what they are that I Love LA is completely entirely lacking on.
Yeah.
So episode to episode, I'll have a good time, but it's just kind of like, and it is actually, I will say, it is extremely like relatable and it's exaggerated, but like I've seen all these, all of this is true. Um, but yeah, there's just nothing that like makes me care about the characters in any way versus like Girls. A lot of them are annoying, but I love all of them for different reasons. They're all really annoying and I don't have anything to like latch onto. Like we have like a Nepo baby, we have like a spoiled like influencer, we have a girl that's like doing like PR management, which is kind of like an industry that like I've worked in before, but we don't really know like, and that's Rachel Sennett's character. We don't really know anything about her. We don't really care. Honestly, Josh Hutcherson, he to me is like one of the best characters. I actually find just because he is so different from the rest of them, and so it's like a nice contrast. I think I like him the most, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. No, he's definitely the best part. And yeah, I definitely feel like I agree. Like there's definitely very LA components to it. But yeah, I mean, people compare it to Insecure, and I just can't stand that comparison because it's like Insecure is like 10 times better, 10 times more like relevant. But that being said, though, it's a decent show. It's watchable. I love when AOE Broly shows up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I'll say though, I've started rewatching Succession. Best rewatch of my life. You know what I'm saying? Season 1 of Succession, so perfect, especially when you know where the show is going. It's like, oh man, they laid every Easter egg so perfectly. Just even the pilot, they laid down everything that happens in the finale. Like it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
You talking about Tom?
Tom, the whole Shiv open relationship thing, like the whole Greg, like they're set up so many things that like you don't think come back, but then totally come. Roman, low key being abused, like kind of situation. They reveal that in like season 3, but they kind of allude to it a little bit early on. It's like, dang, like I don't know. I'm like brilliant storytelling right there. Brilliant storytelling all the way through.
Literally top 3 of all time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
number 1 for me.
What's your reward?
Yeah.
I know we gotta go, y'all. It's been a long stream, so
it's been great.
Also, I don't care if Brad Pitt's in the Batman 2. I don't want to see it. Why? I don't want that or Scarlett Johansson. I know we didn't get there, but I don't know.
Wait, what are we talking about?
That's the other topic. Yeah, the Brad Pitt appearing at.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss that?
No, it's okay because I know we went late. I just want to quickly say I disagree with this. I hope it doesn't happen. I really do want it to be kind of like those really good kind of like character actors. No, you're fine. I don't want to see Brad Pitt in it. I don't want to see Scarlett Johansson. I like them both, not for the Batman 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them both. I mean, Brad Pitt as a human, I don't know if I love, but
Scarlett as a human either, man. I mean,
Pack it up.
Especially now that we got those new release of those certain files, and there's a certain someone that Scarlett Johansson defends quite a bit in those files, talking about a certain
Allen?
Woody Allen. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say-
And that she, like, I think even like a month ago, she was defending him.
I thought you was gonna say the dude from Saturday Night Live. I'm like, Colin
Jost?
Jost was in the Epstein files. Like, one of the biggest plot twist of all time, man.
No, I mean it's pretty obvious that but he's in there like 25 times. I'm talking about Woody
Pork
Allen.
found in kitchen.
But it's obvious. I mean, it's nothing breaking that the guy's a weirdo and a psycho, but at the same time, the fact that she continues to defend him, like, I'm like, bro, what?
It's being said that they confirmed Brad Pitt won't be in part 2. So
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe it was me just screaming right now. They finally came out with a report. They said, no, Sabrina's going to disagree with us. So let's hope Scarlett Johansson's also not in it. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know if that's a rumor or fully confirmed. I don't want that. I like the Zoe Kravitz vibes, like those types. Robert Pattinson, those types of actors I want to see in a film like that.
Yeah, hopefully Batman 2 is great. I'm hoping for a good DCU. I know we haven't talked about, and we haven't discussed Supergirl yet. Eventually we will. But make sure you guys are we doing this next week? I was going to say make sure you guys are here next week, but we are? All right. Yeah. Make sure you guys are here next week where we will be discussing more news, more topics, more movie discussions, and more movies as a whole. RB3, where can everyone find you, man?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3.
And Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
Twitter and TikTok at Sabrina on Film, and I think my Instagram is at Sabrina.onfilm.
Oh, there you go. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Threads, I guess, and Blue Sky, I guess, at Squad Leader Ace. And you can follow us at First Cut. Make sure you follow us on socials at First Cut TMO as well. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Leave a comment, a like, all that good stuff. But either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're going to be peacing out. So peace. Deuces.